seconds. Doom, likewise, that much damage. Avatar is doing a lot of damage and tanking. But Resurrect, you're just waiting to use it for a while, and then you may end up never using it. It is better than these chumps over here. So Resurrect is tier B. It's a strong B. I mean, it can feel like an A, but because of its conditionality, it's a tier B. Next, Robogobo from the Goblin Tinker. This is a 25 mana toggle that turns the Tinker from a biological unit to a mechanical unit. The Tinker, when he's in his mechanical form, can be repaired by workers. Normally, repair costs a percentage of the original building time, and it also has a repair speed that is a percentage with some formula of the original building duration and the building cost percentage for the repair cost. Tinker never got made as a building, so I don't know what formula they use, but they settled on something behind the scenes, and so there is a cost and there is a time to repair him, and it's quite funny that it works that way. So when he's a mechanical, he's also immune to most spells. You cannot, for instance, heal wave him with Shadowhunter. You cannot heal from Moonwell while he's a mechanical. You need to first teleport, well, transfer back. While he is in Tinker form, he gets an ability called Demolisher. He gets a lot of bonus damage. A lot of bonus damage on buildings. He also gets movement speed, I believe, but let's just look it up. Robogobo, a powerful armored form. 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 bonus armor, and 5, 7, 9 or 11 bonus strength. And the funny thing is, he is an intelligence hero. So it's not like he gets bonus damage from this. He just gets bonus health and regen from it. So bonus strength and armor is a weird ass bonus to get for an intelligence based hero. And what I don't see here, oh yeah, use of the demolish ability. Bonus damage against buildings. He gets a multiplier against buildings, depends on his passive, but at best it's a 3.5 times multiplier. So let's say that he deals 50 damage. That is going to be 165 damage on buildings, which is insane. And I don't know, and that's still of course reduced by fortified armor and his fortified armor style, like both the amount and the type of fortified armor. 175? Is it 175? Okay, cool. So he's just very good against buildings with this, and that's pretty powerful. Is Tinker a fight winner? Is it a game winner? Because you don't have to win fights for an ult to be top tier. You can also win the game. Mass teleport, you can just eliminate someone with it sometimes, right? It doesn't have to be a fight winner as long as it gives you an insane amount of map control. And I would say Goblin Tinker mech is extremely useful. You can kill buildings very fast, you're magic immune, you're a lean fighting machine once you get it. But I can't put it... Can I? I could do anything I want, it's my rules. This is actually a tough one. It's gonna be either tier A or B. First of all, 100% you are picking it. It's not a tier C. You are picking it every time when you get to level 6. Does it have the same impact as Infernal, Metamorphosis and Charm? No. So it's obviously an A or a B. Is it better than Locust Swarm? Yes. I feel like it's better than Locust Swarm. Is it better than Resurrect? I feel like it's better than Resurrect. I feel like you're using this all the time, whereas with Resurrect, you're constantly waiting to maybe use it. You're using this all the time. Is it better than Avatar? Doom, Phoenix or Mass Teleport? Sometimes. Sometimes. I think sometimes it is better than these. It's either bottom of A or B. I think we need more Bs. I'm gonna put it in B, but it's the best of B. Next, Warden. Avatar of Vengeance. Avatar of Vengeance is a magic immune ranged summon with very modest damage. It summons little spirits of vengeance from corpses, up to 6 at the same time. These spirits are magic immune and physically immune. The boss is only magic immune, but not physically immune. So basically, you cannot stop them except by stopping them, literally surrounding or body blocking them. They have a ranged piercing attack damage, these 6 little critters, and they last for a decent period of time. And they can be resummoned all the time, so long as the boss is alive. Once the boss dies, all the little minions scatter. The minions cannot be killed, so they don't give XP. The boss, of course, does give XP. Avatar of Vengeance is particularly fantastic at killing workers, and then using those little spirits to kill casters. Because they do piercing damage, they try to run down things like dryads, druids of the talon, sorceresses, priests, shamans. This ult has a lot of utility. The little avatars could be used for scouting, but generally they're not. Usually it's combined with Warden's Kit. It's very well combinable with Warden's Kit of murdering workers with Fan of Knives, and then you summon the avatar. You start making lots of spirits from this. In my previous tier list video, I talked about a Warden level 10 game, and I made this noise, bing! And I said if you want to see a Warden video, you can click on the video in the description with a portrait that looks like this. But my editor ended up missing that moment, so I'm gonna try again. Bing! 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 If you want to see a Warden level 10, bing! It's right there. Well, it's gonna be really awkward if it's not there, but we'll try again next video. Where does Avatar of Vengeance go? It's better than all this crap. It's a tier A for me, clearly. It's not gonna be a tier S. This is an A. I don't think it's as game winning as all them others, but it is a very, very good ability that you would always pick. Tier A. Stampede on Beastmaster. What do you think? Stampede. This is a channeled ability that deals building and player damage. He summons lizards from behind himself, but keep in mind, you can just turn 360 degrees and look in the other direction, so it's behind you instead of behind me, right? You can just turn around. And in that case, the lizards actually appear inside of your army. Isn't it rhinos? Yeah, it's actually Kodos most likely. But the thing is, the icon looks like a Kodo or a rhino or a Stegosaurus, but when you actually look in the game, they are lizards. So it is actually lizards. In fact, they're a bit of thunder lizards, aren't they? Because they're the green one from the green map. So it is an icon misrepresentation. This is perhaps the greatest show of misrepresentation problematic in Blizzard right now. There's a lot of discourse about other less important problems in Overwatch or this or that, but I think this is a big problem. This should be a green lizard, but there's a gray Kodo. So anyways, how good is Stampede? I think it's 60 splash damage per hit. This thing used to be so sick. People were rushing Stampede all the time. There's this Hearthstone player, Savage. He was guilty of being an unethical Stampede abuser. He was actually a very good player in early days in Warcraft 3. Then he became a Hearthstone very good player. But yeah, it's 60 damage for a period of 30 seconds. 2 beasts per second. Here, they smartly don't specify which beasts it is. Right? But look, Thunder Lizards. There we go. So Stampede is quite strong when you're allowed to fully channel it. I would say if you were allowed to fully channel it in combat or in someone's base, that's tier A. Maybe an S. But you are not allowed to fully channel it. And I'm trying to forget for the moment that Beastmaster is not a very good hero right now. That part doesn't matter. Would you pick Stampede on Warden? Probably because you would have anti-magic shell that makes it
It's still
more
recharging.
difficult to interrupt the stampede, right? Night Elf might pick stampede for sure. Would I pick stampede if it was my ability on Farseer? Probably. I'm gonna say it is not good enough to be an A, but it's a B. Among the channeled abilities, which of course Mass Teleport is as well, among the channeled
It's not
in-combat abilities, this is the only one that I think I'm gonna rate B or higher. Okay, next. Ooh, Moonfire. No, this isn't Moonfire. This is Heroes of the Storm Moonfire. I'm sure this has its meaning in World of Warcraft as well. This is Starfall. Starfall is perhaps the prettiest ult, with the least pretty icon. Where does Starfall go? In the bottom Mass Hunts era, this was the shiz, because you have Priestess Mass Hunts, I have Priestess Mass Hunts, but only one of us is casting Starfall first, and it's gonna decimate the entire army of the opponent. Even though Decimate's supposed to be 10% kill of everything, but it's gonna be more than 10%. Decimate has been co-opted to mean blow to smithereens, so I'm gonna use it wrongly, just like with everyone else. It is going to obliterate armies. The problem is, well, let's put it this way. Would I pick Starfall on Farseer? If I could? Probably yes. Would I pick it on Blood Mage instead of Phoenix? No. I think Starfall is a B. I actually thought I was going to place this in C, but that doesn't make sense. Starfall deals building damage in a very large area for a very long period of time. It also deals unit damage. It is a little RNG with who and when it hits, but this is something that must be responded to. Even though all these things can be cancelled, they must be responded to or they will win you the battle. It's a slow release advantage, kind of like a slow release vitamin C pill. It's not like a shot of adrenaline like the Infernal, but it's definitely good enough to be played, and you will pick it if you have the mana for it at all. Next up, Storm, Earth and Fire. Am I gonna beat around the bush? No. It's 100%, it's a tier S. I'm not gonna beat around the bush and delay and build up suspense here. Everybody knows this is a tier S. We're looking at a DPS output of over 200. 3 separate pandas. All 3 must die for Panda to die. Panda still gains experience while the pandas are there. Panda's main body is unattackable.
It's still
right?
recharging.
It is a second health bar, and a third, and a fourth, and then he goes back to the original, which, if I'm not mistaken, is regenerating health and mana while absent in the spirit realm. It unlocks Immolation, Taunt, Magic Immunity, Stone Skin. I don't know what Stone Skin is, but it sounds cool. I think that's actually the name of one of the magic immunities. It unlocks Burning Aura, Cyclone, Dispel, Windwalk. It does almost everything there is in the game. Almost everything. Splash damage. He has Pulverize on the Earth one. Right? It's really insane. It's really insane. This is a tier S. This is absolutely a game winner. And the only thing that stops you from casting this thing sometimes is because you cannot use basic abilities on Panda while you're getting the other 1500 abilities. And Drunken Haze Fire Breath is so freaking good at killing ground, but especially also at killing air, that you may not cast this instantly if you're fighting against gargoyles. You first want to Drunken Haze Fire Breath the Gargs, and then when your abilities are on cooldown, then you cast it. That's the only reason you don't press the red button of the ult the moment you catch any wind of a threat. It's like, boom, Storm, Earth, and Fire, heed my call. So, very strong. Now, Tornado. For Najatar! Naga Sea Wish and the Tornado. How good is this? This doesn't deal damage on units, but it does cyclone them. There is a chance to cyclone them. It also greatly slows units that are walking inside the tornado. Turns out it's pretty difficult to walk through a tornado. How much does it slow? I would say 70% if I had to guess. The slow area is 60, but how much does it slow? We don't know how much it slows. But it slows air and ground. Oh, here it is. Tornado brings units to minimum speed unless their speed is 350 or faster. There are only 2 or 3 such units in the game. It also slows air, unlike Earthquake. That's insane. Tornado also tosses units every 3 seconds, and the toss lasts for 12 seconds. And by toss, it's a cyclone. They can only cyclone a particular unit once every 22 seconds. Tornado speed is 75. That means that Tornado more or less could disable 4 units continuously. It can also toss heroes and break channel spells potentially.
Is it time already?
Tornado was rebalanced very recently, 4 years ago. Random wonder behavior removed. Mana cost dropped to 125. Duration reduced from 40 to 20. Close by building damage per second increased from 50 to 100. And far building damage from 7 to 14. I think Tornado is actually pretty good. The main knock against it is that usually Naga doesn't have mana when she wants to cast it. But this isn't... I mean, it is partially about the hero that casts the ability. I think Tornado is better and more disruptive than Earthquake because it interrupts channels. It does a similar slow, maybe more so even. No damage though. But I don't think it's good enough to contend with Starfall, Stampede, Robogobo, Resurrection, and even Carrion Swarm. So it's going to be a C for me. It comes from relatively far away, Tornado. I do like it. I do think you pick it from time to time. But I think in most games, you will pick Frost, Arrow 3, Fork Lightning 3 before you pick up Tornado. And you may even pick up Mana Shield. You may even pick up Mana Shield before you take Tornado.